What's going on? Shameen here. Hope y'all are doing well. Today I want to talk about the mindset you should be having for investing and making money and building wealth. And I say that's to aggressively acquire assets. So we got the AAA right there. That's really it. Aggressively acquire assets. Like, if you don't remember nothing else, just remember that, because this is something that I wish I had internalized more when I was younger. Uh, I always wanted to get into business and investing, but I didn't prioritize it enough to try to make certain moves, and I felt limited by my income level because I was broke. I was poor for almost most of my mid 20s into my early 20s. I was completely broke. Um, so I was like, all right, well, once I'm actually good and like got good money, then I'll invest. And so it kept getting put off. But I wish I had had the mindset to just acquire assets as aggressively as possible, regardless. Even though if you look at it and you look at the world, it's now with technology that it's getting a little easier for the average person to invest and, buy shares of stocks or buy, different units of cryptocurrency. You can buy $50 or $100 worth of stock or cryptocurrency. You don't need a brokerage. You don't need to call a stockbroker somewhere. You don't need to have all these barriers to entry that used to exist. You don't need a large sum of money. You can pretty much, as long as you have an internet connection, whether that's to a laptop or cell phone, create an account and, connect your bank account and do different things. There's different apps now. You had Robinhood, which was really big for the stock investing, making it more accessible to the average individual. Even though, side note, I can't stand Robinhood or the Robinhood CEO. I think he's a piece of crap. But that's neither here nor there. It's so easy now to buy assets, liquid assets like stocks and cryptocurrency. Anybody can do it. Literally, even if you have like a minimum wage job, as long as you have just like a little bit of disposable income, even if it was like $1 a day. Okay, maybe that wouldn't make sense because of, any type of fees. But, if it was just $20 a week, you could literally buy that small amount and invest it. And I wish I had internalized that younger because of the time value of money and the compounding effect of investments. The younger you're able to internalize this investing mindset, the bigger you'll win, because it's a snowball effect. So over time, consistently, you're going to be increasing your net worth as long as you stay consistent and you're not just picking awful investments. It's the same thing with getting into real estate. I wish I had tried to force myself to get into real estate younger as well, which, again, unfortunately, because of my financial situation, I never truly considered it. Though my mom did push me a few times, but I also didn't want to necessarily be tied to California. And I was always like so focused on moving that I was like, I'm not going to buy anything here. But looking back, if I had made that effort, maybe there was a point where I could have qualified and got a property that by now would have appreciated and, had some equity or been able to sell for a profit, because that's the thing about assets. Not only can they appreciate, you can sell them, so they're increasing in value, and you can get rid of them. Because some people say, oh, don't buy a house because you'll be tied down somewhere, or whatever they say, but realistically, at least you have a chance of kind of recovering the value for the money you've spent there, because you can recoup it when you sell. So that's just one thing to consider, and just another way to apply this aggressively acquiring assets mindset, because especially when you start to break this out over different asset classes like liquid assets, stocks and crypto, and tangible assets like land and real estate. Uh, when you really think about that, I like to think of my money as like little soldiers. So like each dollar I got is a little soldier. It's a strategy thing. If I deploy my soldiers correctly, they're gonna go bring me back some more loot. You know, you got to think of your money like that. Like your money always has to be working for you. So when you're able to put away those small amounts over time, it does add up eventually to a large amount, because I think some people, they get so put off by the idea of investing because they think it's like thousands, tens of thousands of dollars and like these big amounts, and I can't invest, like I don't have money or this or that. But it's like, no, you can build it up over time. You can accumulate over time. I really actually live broke most of the time, even when I have good income. I've always been like that ever since I even got like my first decent job. I immediately started buying Bitcoin and Ethereum when I got my first like salary job when I was in college. That was like one of the first things I did, was start investing, because I finally, for the first time in my life, had like a little bit of disposable income, or at least a more significant amount of disposable income. I always did, which was, used to go out and party half the time. But I really got my mind right, and I try to keep that mindset. So like when I get my paycheck, I've already got my crypto allocated. Actually, you might even be able to see the picks I have written on my whiteboard behind me. I have my different crypto picks right there behind me that I make weekly buys for most of those. Because for me, I don't want any of my cash sitting around. I really don't. I want all my money working for me as much as possible. And that's really just the way I approach things. And when you actually combine that mindset with now, a higher income or high income skills, or some sort of windfall where you get a nice lump sum, you can really turn it up. And that's what I'm really planning to do this year. Like, I'm gonna just be doing nothing but stacking and investing, and really just focusing on how much of my money is going into actual assets versus other things. I pretty much spare as much as I can towards actual assets, and that's just really my point. If you think about it, like when you look at rich people and wealthy investors, I think Grant Cardone kind of embodies this, because he's always like trying to buy all these deals. Like he never stops buying more doors and like buying all these apartments and buildings and projects and things like that. And he's like talking about 10xing, like he's just aggressively getting doors in real estate. There's definitely many ways to apply it, but I think it's a good mindset to internalize and apply to yourself as an investor, as an entrepreneur, someone who's just seeking to self-improve, and really be aggressive about it. Like really go for it, because there's different ways to look at it. Even for me, in addition to buying crypto this year, like I really want to buy my first property this year. So there's going to be a lot of things that I'm going to have to do to push myself. Like, people don't really realize, you have to be intentional when it comes to money and business and investing. A lot of people don't really try or know what it takes to do different things. Like I know for a fact that I'm going to have to get with a real estate agent, a lender. I have to think about what kind of loans I'm going to be able to qualify for, credit, financial history. If I'm still on W-9s, I'm going to have to get around that and find lenders, or consider getting a W-2 position. I mean, there's all sorts of things for me to consider, even 5, 6, 8 months out from doing something like that. And that's part of being aggressive, is being proactive and really like preparing and planning for things as well. If you're truly aggressive with this mindset and about acquiring assets for yourself, it's going to bear fruit. So that's pretty much my video for today. Let me know what y'all got, what y'all think. Let me know what y'all are investing in this year. Comment down below, and make sure you like and subscribe as well. Help me out with the algorithm. and I'll talk to y'all again soon.